People will say, it must be nice about us homeschooling. But nobody says that about the $50,000 brand new car, or getting a new phone every year, or eating out multiple times a week. It's all about priorities and what sacrifices you're willing to make. And I decided a few years ago that we were going to make that sacrifice. Because during COVID, when suddenly my wife, who was teaching at the time, was suddenly teaching from home online, our daughter, who was preschool age at the time, was following along at home, getting an early start to her education. And we realized we didn't need the public education system. We could do it ourselves. You can do it yourself. And the thought that you aren't qualified to do this job likely stems from insecurities all the way back to your own public school days. I know it did for me. But today there's one thing we have that we didn't have back then, and that's access to information that flows freely, greater than at any time in my life or in history. If you want to learn something, you can learn it for free online. If you want to start a business, you can do it. And there are so many tools to help you. All of these things used to be stuck behind a paywall. They used to be reserved for the already rich families who already built big businesses and taught the same things to their own children. None of that is taught in public school. I've had to learn and relearn so many things on my own. And I don't want my kids going through the same struggles in their young adult life that I did. So my wife and I set out to give a path of education for them that allows them to follow their interests, to learn at their own pace. Because in public school, it seems like a fast food type of operation. An assembly line that prepares kids for the same kind of order and assembly line jobs in factories after graduation. Yet I don't see many of those jobs still existing. That's what the public school system was created for. They didn't want a nation of thinkers. They wanted a nation of obedient workers. But that system, the one they created the schools for, doesn't even exist anymore. So in my eyes, they're setting today's kids up for failure. And it's too risky in my eyes to wait or hope the system gets better, because it's already too late. It's already broken. And I see people complaining about it and arguing at school board meetings, thinking their voice will change anything. And it's good to see them have that fire, that willingness to fight for their children's education. But they're never going to give them the best schooling when they let strangers teach their kids ideologies different from their own. They're not going to be able to keep them safe from bullying, harassment, or God forbid, another school shooting. How can we keep them safe? We take control of their education. We can do that. We are absolutely the right ones for the job, because they are our kids and our responsibility, not the state's. As much as we fight and argue for change at the schools, it's always going to be an uphill battle. They're never going to get the attention they would get from you alone. So many things I was talented at were never able to be utilized in school. In fact, I was viewed as a troubled kid in high school, and I was sent to the counselor's office because I wasn't optimizing my grades enough my senior year for college. But I wasn't even thinking about college. I just wanted to be creative. My mind wandered. I liked to write and create stories and whole new worlds. They tried to put me into a box and find a role for me to play within this broken system. I didn't understand it all back then, but I see it now. I see why it just didn't make sense to me. And I know I won't let my kids fall victim to that, especially after what I saw 6 years ago. I wanted to raise kids who ask questions and don't just simply follow the crowd. I wanted to raise critical thinkers because, frankly, the world seems to be lacking that. I see a lot of young people addicted to their phones, without any ambition, uninterested in anything. They're so easily influenced, too, with that attitude. And that is the attitude that comes out of public schools. How about we bring back a sense of wonder for life and stop putting kids into these boxes where they're expected to fit? And stop medicating the ones that aren't so easy for the teachers to handle. Every kid is different. There's a reason homeschooling has been on the rise this past decade. There's a reason so many teachers become former teachers, like my wife. And there's a reason many of those former teachers end up homeschooling their own kids. People get confused by that sometimes when we tell them, why would you homeschool when you were a teacher yourself? But maybe it's because of the fact that she knows so much about the issues in the public school system, having lived it for 10 years. And that's exactly why we homeschool and live the way we do. My daughter told me today that she wants to be a writer like me one day. I told her she already is one, and I had tears in my eyes. My whole life, I felt called to be a writer, yet the school system didn't have any support for creative writing. I learned it on my own by reading people I liked and finding my own style. But I got steered into writing like journalism, something more rigid with all these rules. I hated the rules. And even in college, my school only had communications and media. No creative writing majors. I had to learn on my own. I was guided all the way away from creative writing until I tried everything else and landed right back on writing. Because I believe we're all born with gifts and we need to use them to benefit others. Now I look at my daughter and I see a little tiny version of me. It's scary. And I would be doing a disservice to her sending her to public school. I want to cater her education around her gifts. She'll never get that in school. She'd be told to be less than she is because she shines too bright. She got an idea to make her own board game based on combining two games that we play. I support this kind of creativity she would never get in school. It's the kind of thing kids do when they're allowed to be bored. And just the other day, she asked if she could go on Canva and help create a new logo for our YouTube channel for a website. I told her exactly what I was looking for, and she actually came up with what I wanted exactly. And she was so excited. She couldn't wait to show me what she made. And you know what? I'm going to use it. That's going to be my logo. Because I'm proud of her, and she's always going to remember that she created that. And if she can create that now, imagine what she can do once she gets older. Sometimes I question whether we're doing the right things, but I take for granted how the ways that we live affect her. She spent 5 years at the farmer's market with me, learning about people and sales. Now she thinks like an entrepreneur, and I'm so proud of her. She saw her dad the last 5 years selling at the farmer's market, and she learned so much from it, and now she wants to sell things of her own. She's learning about branding and how to make her own jewelry and greeting cards. Recently, as an 8-year-old, she did her first market of her own at an event for young entrepreneurs. She set up at this maker's market, selling her own business things, and she did great. This is what I wish I had experienced growing up, and I love seeing her thrive from what she's learned. We lean into the things she's passionate about, and we don't try to push her towards something she doesn't care about. She's a natural learner. Most kids are. She loves to read, and she remembers everything she reads, and she's always listening to what we say. It's annoying, actually. And Matthew, too. He remembers everything. They are always learning, and they're always listening. And I realize that the world is a learning experience. I'm still learning. And as I learn, I'll share it with my kids so they can learn from my mistakes. And I share that with my audience here on YouTube too. Every day is another chance to learn and be better than yesterday.
Closed, Maddie.
And no one has it all figured out. So do the best you can.
No,
You're more qualified to homeschool than you think.
It's like a tornado of chicks.
It is. Chicken that.
Yeah, this is a chicken man. There's like 60, 49.
That's not even a number.